So on the Daimler rear brakes, there's an issue which I've had ever since I've had the car, whereby this brake line is held against the axle. You can see that here. I move the camera a bit perhaps. This is the brake line to the rear caliper, and it's held against the axle by this Jubilee clip, which isn't right and not good, because obviously it could be trapped and crushed. I mean, it hasn't been. It's been like that for many years now. And there's actually no signs of fretting or any other kind of issues. But so it doesn't feel right. So it's only not good practice. So I'm going to try and sort that out. I mean, the brake lines on this, there's a flexible brake line from the body to a little T-piece on the axle center and the housing, and then a rigid line, which is actually a cunifer to each of the calipers. So this does sort of flap about in the breeze potentially along the half shaft. But yeah, I'm going to try and sort out that Jubilee clip. I can't see anything on the parts manual as to what the arrangement should be. Doesn't seem to show it on the diagram, and there's no parts listed as hose, pipe, clamp, or anything. So I don't know what the original arrangement was, but I'm going to try and sort out this Jubilee clip. Okay, so I've come up with this design, which is going to fit on the axle. It's very obvious. So there's this curve here is the diameter of the axle. There's a 5mm hole for the brake pipe. There's a millimetre either side of solid rubber. I'm going to print this in 100% fill TPU elastomer, and I've also added these slight raised areas either side, which I hope will stop it from squirreling out from underneath the Jubilee clip. The Jubilee clip will be just lying on this surface, and obviously around the axle. And so these bumps will hopefully just stop it from slipping out from underneath. I made them curved rather than a sort of 90-degree flange, just to make it easier to print, because there should be the overhang here is such that it should be able to print it without having any support structure. So that should be fine, and it looks fine. Maybe slightly less susceptible to knocks and damage if it's a nice smooth curve. Right, get that exported and sliced up, ready for the 3D printer. Okay, this is printing up in TPU at 100% fill, so basically it's solid, and it's going to take another hour or so, I think. It seems to be going okay at the minute. Okay, so the print is finished, and it seems to have come out okay. There's the 5mm hole through the width, and if you can see it on the camera, but there are two raised parts and a flat area in between. So I say that should fit around the axle. Jubilee clip supported there, and the brake line through the hole. So to get the brake line through the hole without too much hassle, the plan is just to put a slit down this inside surface through to the hole, so I can just spread it, get it around the pipe, the brake line, and then it'll close up again as it's wrapped around the axle and under pressure from the clamp. Nearly there. There we go. Yeah, so I think that should spread enough to just nip it over the brake line, back around the axle, and we're done. So it's 100% fill, so it's really dense. So it should be incompressible, basically. Rubber is incompressible. in the same way that water is. So yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so I've got my 3D printed part, which I'm hoping will fit against the axle. It's certainly the right radius, that's a good start. I'd say that this hole should fit the brake line. So if I take the Jubilee clip off, fit this, and see how we go. Let's get in and unscrew the Jubilee clip, or loosen it at least. Let's clean off some of the crud. Okay, so this piece I've 3D printed, it should just open up like so around the pipe. So this clip is actually undone now. So there's the Jubilee clip off completely. See if this will fit over the pipe. Okay, so that seems to have worked. Try and get the clip back on. The issue now is whether the clip is long enough to reach around the extra diameter. It was only just long enough before, so I might need to get another clip. Yeah, I do need another clip. It's just not quite long enough. Still, that's a really good start. I'm pleased with that. It fits quite snugly and neatly around the axle and around the pipe, the brake pipe. That's a much better solution. I feel happier with that than the Jubilee clip straight onto the pipe, which is definitely not right. Okay, so I need to find or buy another Jubilee clip, but that's the least of my worries. So luckily I do have stainless steel Jubilee clip in stock, which might just be long enough. Give this a try. And just get it started again. It's always a problem. There we go. Going remarkably well. This can't be right. At least I can do this up now fairly firmly without worrying too much about crushing the brake pipe. Yeah, that's much better. Oh yeah, very happy with that. Good use of 3D printing, and so much safer attachment for that brake line, which is not going to do any damage. And a stainless steel clip as well as a bonus. So I've just reminded myself of the arrangement on the offside here, and yeah, in this case the three-way union that connects the flexible from the car to the axle is on this side of the differential housing. So the pipe run from that union to this caliper on the offside is quite short and just skirts around the strap, the bump strap, and it doesn't really need support. I don't think it would have had it in the first place. So yeah, I think I'm okay with that one. So yeah, all done I think. After all these years, finally got a much more suitable attachment for that near side brake line on the back axle. Thanks for watching.